Yeah, you better clap. So after Tuesday's Democrat bloodbath, you see more finger-pointing than at a Johnny Depp divorce. And most of it is directed at all those damn evil white people. Right, Tiff?
This isn't about enthusiasm. This isn't about Democrats not doing enough to exercise their base. And this definitely is not about messaging or even about beloved. This is about the fact that a good chunk of voters out there are okay with white supremacy. Let's call a thing a thing. Actually, scratch that.
Scratch what? That's kind of gross. Maybe get an ointment. So yeah, the Democrats lost because voters love white supremacy, especially the 54% of Hispanic white supremacists who voted for Youngkin. Those damn Hispanic white supremacists again, with their white supremacist tango and their white supremacist tamales. You've heard this white supremacist crap all over at MSNBC. This network was the worst idea Bill Gates ever had, besides hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. I shouldn't have said hanging. Anyway.
Too soon.
Too soon. That place, that network lies to their viewers more than the guy who sold me those blue pills on Craigslist. Rock hard my ass. But they blame whiteness for Virginia's election while saying CRT doesn't exist. It makes me miss the Clinton era when the Dems were really good at lying. So Cross was filling in for the homophobic blogger turned pundit Joy Reid, who had said the same thing.
It was education,
right,
which is code for white parents don't like the idea of teaching about race.
Yes, because if there's one thing missing in our educational system, it's America's history of racism. Yeah, and what's missing in a strip club is the smell of desperation. And baby powder. It is funny, though. How could someone named Joy Reid be so joyless and not read? There are countless articles out there on CRT and how often it's being taught in schools. So Joy and Tiffany said the same thing, like people who plan to lie often will. It's like MSNBC have only one brain in the freezer, and in the handoff, they must have dropped it numerous times. But what if they're right? In fact, there are lots of voters who are okay with white supremacy. It's just that they vote Democrat. And not just because they supported Governor Northam, who either wore blackface or a Klan hood. He never did tell us which. Either way, no white sheets after Labor Day, Ralph. It's okay to laugh at that. Well, okay, don't laugh. But the most affluent places in America are Arlington, Fairfax, and Loudoun counties, which are all in Virginia. There, people make 6 figures, or even 7 figures. They're the kind of folks who can afford Hunter Biden's artwork and drug habit. And they vote Democrat overwhelmingly, knowing that only leads to paying much higher taxes. As the New York Times points out, affluent suburbs went bluer than a Smurf choking on a marble. They didn't say that, I did. But McAuliffe won 77% of the vote in Arlington. So these are voters who know they're going to pay way more under a Democrat, but they do it anyway, whether it's in taxes, at the gas pump, or buying medical devices online. FYI, catheters come in handy when you can't make it to the bathroom. Trust me. So while pocketbook issues matter to blacks, they don't matter to these rich, white, liberal racists. Ask yourself, if you voted Republican, are you just trying to save some money so you can fill your tank with gas? Or are you a racist? Maybe everyone who drives is racist. But the rich, white, liberal racists can afford stuff like climate change spending, defunding the cops, unregulated immigration, COVID lockdowns, and no cash bail. But no one else really can. Just ask Minneapolis, where a majority of blacks just voted against replacing the police department. Getting rid of the police is a popular idea with white college kids in safe neighborhoods, but not so much with people who might be murdered. See, unlike working-class blacks, rich, white, liberal racists, they can handle it. When you're white and rich, you can vote for anything that will destroy an urban area faster than a case of whippets on cats' brain cells. You can raise taxes on the white liberal racists. They can handle it. You can defund the police. They can handle it. They're in gated communities and can afford private security. And it's okay if their security has guns. Immigration, they love the cheap labor. It takes care of their hedges. And it really only affects border states, right? COVID lockdowns are fine. They have enough cash tucked away to endure a few years watching The View in their underpants. Or they have government jobs where they're used to doing nothing. No cash bail, they love that virtue signal. Look how it empties evil prisons, especially since those repeat offenders end up in the Bronx or other places the white, rich, liberal racist only sees in gritty movies starring other rich white liberals who can't shoot guns. And at least one who can. And CRT, white, rich, liberal racists don't mind it because all their kids go to pricey private schools, just like Terry McAuliffe's brats. They love school choice as long as poor people can't afford it. But at least the public school kids are getting laid by their teachers. Something I missed. Why did I go to Catholic school? Anyway, but you got to wonder, even if you're a white, rich liberal, why wouldn't you also want secure borders, school choice, and safe streets? That way, minorities could also make a better life for themselves. Is it because the white, rich liberal is racist? Perhaps they need minorities to have problems the government causes, so they'll look to the government to solve them. I wonder what the angry black male thinks.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, yes. With hotels, New York, I own it, $1,000, and that's the ball game.
The only reason you're winning is because of racism.
I'm sorry, no, the reason why racism? I'm winning because you rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No,
6.
let me just stop you right there.
What kind of racism are you talking
Okay,
about?
the game that we are playing is racist.
So white supremacists are helping me, a black man, win at Monopoly?
That's the game, right?
I'm playing Monopoly. What game are you playing?
Oh my God.
So the leftist media claims the white working class are racist for voting for Republicans, when it's the white working class that shares the same concerns that the black working class does. And that's about crime, education, taxes, and inflation. Fact is, the blame whitey strategy provides cover for the white, rich, liberal racists. Racism may come in many forms, but it's not always a noose on a doorknob. Sometimes it's a Caucasian progressive with 7 figures in the bank and an illegal nanny in the guest room. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She hosts a YouTube show called The Weekly Dumpster Fire, not to be confused with reliable sources with Brian Stelter, comedian and host of Dumpster Fire, Bridget Fennessy. She's so southern, she deep fries her deep fryer. Fox business anchor, Jagan McDowell. Her pets complain that she gets hair everywhere. Fox's contributor, Kat Tim. And he's made more people say uncle than the Octomom's brother. My massive sidekick and the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. All right. I thought that was a pretty good introduction, Tyrus.
Kat's writing him now, isn't she?
So what did you make of this, of how the media, like, let me put it this way. That election gives you like 1 day of editorial content for a TV show, but it's the meltdown response that gives you like a month of stuff.
Well, you know, I had called this weeks before. I've been
Right.
saying on here, you keep messing with moms and dads.
Yeah.
You mess with our education and you mess with our police department. We're going to show up. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the extra work.
Right.
And I warned them. In the really real world, this stuff matters, not your fake fantasy 9th place wokeism that no one wants. And we saw it in a place, in a fashion across the board. Even the New Jersey race came down to the wire when they shouldn't have. They sent a message. Parents were like, we're going to be heard. We're going to be respected. We want to get back to work. And the Democrats said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. We weren't progressive enough.
Yeah.
We weren't pushing enough. They didn't hear us. The white racist showed up. And I would just like to say, yes, you're exactly right. AOC, 100%. Let's step up. Let's add another 50% wokeism. This is the campaign strategy. Well, I don't do this often. Well done. let's keep this going. Let's take this in the midterms. Turn that progressive wokeism up, because we're thirsty for it. We can't wait. I love it. My life is so easy. Everything's racist. I don't have to do anything. I can wait for a check. And if I fail, and if anyone calls me out on my laziness, they're racist too. Ladies and gentlemen, utopia.
Yes. You know, audience applauding racism. I like that. You know, Bridget.
We've made it.
Yes. Sometimes I wonder if wouldn't it be better if we all just said we're racist and then it would
take a sip of right now and we made it.
Yes, and that would completely destroy this narrative. What do you think of this? How do you see this?
I just love that white supremacy is when you vote for the wrong white guy.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
yes.
You're white supremacist. I don't know. It seems like when all you have is a hammer, everything is literally racism, and it just seems like people are over it. They're not being bullied anymore. They're tired of hearing this. They're not scared of being called bigots. And this is problematic because you don't want to destroy these words.
Right.
But they have no meaning anymore. What are you supposed to do if you're just nonstop being told that everything, it could never be anything that they did? Let's not look at policy. Let's not look at the fact that kids didn't go to school for 18 months. There could never be any possible other reason other than racism. And that just seems like a losing strategy, and it continues to be.
It's a winning strategy.
A winning strategy.
But there are 2 points that you made that are together, and now I forgot what they were. But they were really good. Oh, say obviously.
Maybe I'm not the one doing the whippets, Greg.
I guess I've got Joe Biden disease. No, it's the fact that what happens if you come across a real bigot and you call him a bigot, then it means nothing, and they can go, like a real bigot can go, this is just wokeism.
Right,
this is just wokeism. So, but that's the scary part. But the other thing is the fearless part, which is that everybody was so scared of responding to being accused, but now they're not. So it's like, because it's meaningless. So that's the good. There's the bad part, there's the good part. Dagan, that is quite a dress.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I stopped wearing my clip-in bangs after 10 years.
For you.
Yeah.
Good.
But to what you were talking about, not only are you a white supremacist if you vote for the wrong guy, you're a white supremacist if you vote for a black woman.
Yes.
The first black woman ever elected to statewide office. But zealots got a zealot.
Yeah.
And they're not going to admit they're wrong. And so when somebody votes for someone they don't like, they're going to call you a racist, rather than waking up to the fact that their worldview is not in step with what's going on in the rest of the country. And they love to use that hammer, but that now it's like a little rubber racist hammer that nobody is frightened of. They have used it so much, so falsely, so maliciously that people, it's like, bring your hammer at me. I'm not cowering. You can call me a racist. I'm not bending down. I'm not asking for forgiveness. The only bigots, like, how do you spot a bigot? Well, the left is going to cover up for them because they're in their own party.
Yeah.
So I did my usual research, and they did AP did a fact check last year as Biden was running for president. Biden did not eulogize a former KKK Grand Wizard.
Yes.
Robert Byrd, however, they found out was an exalted Cyclops and was a recruiter for the Klan.
Yes, that's different. That changes everything.
He's only a recruiter for the Klan.
Yeah, it's not a Grand Dragon. It's just the guy that gets the Grand Dragon.
Cyclops, he's still handicapped. He only has one eye.
That is true.
So you can't be so quick that his racism's through a skewed lens.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
not as strong when you only have one eye.
Yeah, and think about how insecure you have to be to call yourself exalted. I mean, I would just go by Cyclops, Cat.
Yeah.
No, if I could
That's
be
what we're
exalted,
going with. All right. Look, the problem is they have too much. They're too secure. They're not insecure enough. Like, we all have those friends that are, they're still single. They don't want to be single, and it's so obvious to everyone why they are single, but they can't accept that. So they'll be like, men are so intimidated by me because I'm such a strong woman. It's like, you sure it's not? Because you get so drunk and crap yourself every time you go out. But they won't hear that. I mean, their whole platform is, we're going to take all of your money and then also your kids. And the people don't vote for them, and they're like, racist. It's truly that delusional, and until they confront it, nothing's going to change.
Kat makes a phenomenal point.
Why, thank you.
Because it used to be in my crew the brothers. We always had one brother that his name was either Raheem or for whatever reason, and he would always, everything was racist.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't matter. We sit in a restaurant and be like, they hand us the menus. They shorted us a menu because we were racist. No, because you were 15 minutes late. Because the lights outside were racist. They always turn red when I get there. Why is that, bro? Because we black, dog. And be like, bruh.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It was just that one guy.
One guy.
Apparently now he's got a whole cult.
No, the one guy ended up at MSNBC, but it's a woman. Go figure. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.